shirt represents everything that this live is about.
Yes, I love it.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Perfect. So, what I want you to do first is I want you to introduce yourself. Tell me your name, what you identify as, a little bit about yourself, ethnicity, etc.
All right. Well, my name is Awar Obob. I'm 25 years old. I live in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I am a Black Nova Scotian-South Sudanese person. Well, non-binary person, I should say. I work in the arts in various fields. I'm very multifaceted. And I kind of consider myself a human rights activist, you know? I like to speak up for what I consider injustices throughout the world, and I seem to be doing pretty decent.
Excellent. Yes, you even had some, you were invited to some political conventions, no?
Yes, I spoke on a Canadian Parliamentary Standing Committee in front of about 13 MPs and alongside the Refugee Status Board of Canada and the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women Board of Canada.
Wow. Wow. So this goes to show how active you are within the position you hold, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I would say so. I would say so. Excellent. So my first question for you is, how do you think those who don't know how or are unable to stand up for injustice when it comes to the Black and Brown community, including those of LGBTQ plus community, which are at even more risk of violence and discrimination, how do you think someone can stand up for themselves when they are vulnerable?
The first thing I would mention is know your innate worth as a person, because you do matter and you're very worthy of life and being treated with respect.
Mm-hmm.
So when people do cross boundaries and cross lines with you, if you're not in a safe enough area to verbally defend yourself at the time, then discuss with people who, I guess, who either run a venue that you're in or can have more vocal power in the situation if they have a platform or something.
For sure.
Yeah, reach out to people, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Find your friends and find community, and just, if you feel something in your heart, definitely speak about it.
Exactly.
And find the best ways to.
Exactly. And I think within the LGBTQ plus community, I think that one of the biggest things that I keep saying to everyone that I interview is that family isn't necessarily blood. Family is what we create. Family is those who are with us during hard times. Family is those who are there when we are feeling injustice, who are there for Stonewall, for example, throwing bricks, those who are on the front line of the Black Lives Matter movement. You know, this here is what you do when someone is feeling injustice, right?
Yeah.
I think that this is a great, we are living in such a moment in time where we are able to see how to deal with injustice. We go to the streets. We need to stand up for one another. We need to become one. You know, we need to unite so that way we can get rid of this 1,500-year-old mindset. You know, this
Exactly.
2020.
Yeah.
What are we thinking? You know, but unfortunately, we have these types of people in the world, and we, as the LGBTQ plus community and the Black community, the Aboriginal community, I think that we all relate in some way or another, because we all understand what it's like to be to feel unjust, marginalized, exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like we as a group are able to kind of come together as one. Question number 2 actually is very touching. Me and you had talked during the week. I had a pre-interview with you just to see what you were comfortable talking about, and you were very open. You seem like you are an activist, so your story really matters, right? And you were close to being the victim of sex trafficking if it wasn't for your courage escape to run across a 4-lane highway to search for help after being drugged. As we know, sex work itself isn't a problem, and I think most of us will agree with that. Sex trafficking, on the other hand, is a problem because you're not willing and you are held against your will to dance or to have intercourse in exchange for something that doesn't come back to you. Can you tell us a little bit about what you think we need to do to reduce the number of Black and Aboriginal women being sex trafficked, not only in Canada, but around the world?
I think we need to decriminalize it on all platforms. Decriminalize sex work. Yes.
Decriminalize sex work.
Exactly.
Here's to that.
Destigmatize it as well.
Exactly.
So that these people who do work in sex work, no matter what field, have proper resources to go to in case something does happen. Or even just preventative things, where you're able to meet up with fellow sex workers and discuss, potential harmful clients and able to remove those clients out of any community.
Exactly.
Just destigmatize and decriminalize and support your friends.
Exactly. I think that this would make a huge difference because the problem we have right now is it's criminalized, right? It's on the line, right? Because some people say, it's not illegal. It's illegal to exchange sex for money. It's illegal to exchange sex for money, but it's not illegal to have sex with someone. It's very, very controversial, the law. It's very on the line. Have you heard the law? You're familiar with the law?
Oh yeah, like it's illegal to be paid for sex, yet if you're doing it on camera, it's legal.
Exactly.
It's like what? It's a way to, in my opinion, it's a way for people of power to stay in power.
Mm-hmm.
And with the system right now, it's very easy to exploit people.
100%.
Like Mia Khalifa has come out with her story about the industry, and it is absolutely heartbreaking.
Destigmatize, decriminalize, let sex workers do their work.
Yeah, let them choose what work they do and where it goes and what happens with the revenue and how long it stays up if they even want it up anymore.
Exactly, because I believe that we are reaching a time where we should be allowed to make our own decisions. We live in a democracy. How are you going to tell someone that they simply can't exchange something for something? Let the person make up their mind. That way you take that person out of a potentially violent situation. If we had a community of sex workers, they could say, for example, this guy's dangerous. You could have a list of people who are dangerous, who you do not want to encounter. But instead it kind of it becomes something taboo, right? And then it's something that people don't like to talk about. It's something that people like to judge sex workers as prostitutes, as sluts, as whores, as whatever it is. But you know what? Sometimes when we're talking about a transgender woman, what type of conditions does society give to her?
Very hard one. It's very hard to get a job, and if you do manage to get a job, it's pretty hard to keep it.
Exactly. Because you're always going to be
underneath the lens
to the wherever you're working, and you're going to be the first thing they notice.
Yeah.
And they are going to start judging you. You're going to probably experience transphobia, you know?
Yeah, you're going to be under a microscope and a lens that none of your other coworkers are under.
Mm-hmm.
And like dress codes will be enforced that never existed before and stuff like that. It's horrible, and it's very difficult to find work that actually pays money, that actually fills your necessities.
100%.